LaSalle TV News is back for a new semester on campus. Hello, I'm Erin Holly.
And I'm Sam Long. This is my first semester as anchor. Thank you for welcoming me on. You're watching LaSalle TV News, where the action never stops. Hello, and welcome to LTV News, where we bring you everything from 20th and Omni, Philadelphia, and the world.
There's a lot to catch up on in this next half hour, as Sam had the opportunity to interview Jennifer Ruggiero Patel about this year's Explorientation. Now let's hear the buzz around campus.
In light of LaSalle University's 29th president stepping down this year, the university has appointed Tim O'Shaughnessy as a temporary president in search of a new one. O'Shaughnessy previously served as executive vice president starting in January 2021 and was appointed by his current position of the LaSalle's Board of Trustees. He received his bachelor's degree in business administration from LaSalle University's School of Business in 1985. The university's presidential search committee is currently in search of a permanent replacement, and they hope to have one announced by early 2022.
As I'm sure almost everyone has heard by now, LaSalle had a very special guest on campus last week. Adam Sandler and his movie crew stopped at 20th and Olney Avenue for a few days to film his newest movie, Hustle. September 9th just so happened to be Adam's 55th birthday, and a large group of excited students from LaSalle stood outside of Tom Gola Arena and sang happy birthday to him. Adam was very grateful of this gesture. He also let his fans meet his furry friend, Bagel Sandler. Hustle is set to come out on Netflix in 2022 and also stars Queen Latifah, Robert Duvall, and some members of the 76ers. Filming for this movie has been taking place all around the city, such as in Manayunk, on Market Street, and in Camden. So if you're in Philly, keep an eye out for this celebrity.
This fall, LaSalle University is working with the Philadelphia Department of Public Health to update protocols and adhere to CDC guidance for COVID-19. The university's COVID-19 testing strategy will require entry testing where every student and employee who plans to live or work on campus will have to take a COVID-19 test. Students experiencing COVID-19 symptoms will receive symptomatic testing on campus via university contract tracing. Tracing representatives will notify students if they have had exposure to someone who has tested positive for COVID-19 on campus. The university will also administer surveillance testing of asymptomatic individuals throughout the semester. Students and faculty must wear a cloth face mask while inside campus buildings. The university does not require a mask in outdoor settings if fully vaccinated or while eating and drinking, regardless of your vaccination status. In addition, facilities management will implement more frequent cleaning protocols to meet CDC guidelines.
An article from U.S. News and World Report ranked LaSalle among the nation's best. Nearly 700 Bachelor of Science in Nursing programs, or BSN for short, met U.S. News and World Report's criteria for inclusion. LaSalle ranked in the top 300, placing at 288. This is the first time U.S. News and Business Report ranked nursing programs. LaSalle interim president said, quote, LaSalle's undergraduate nursing program is one of our hallmark undergraduate degree programs, one of which we are incredibly proud. Not only does our BSN program cultivate future leaders of the nursing profession, it also trains our graduates in the delivery of compassionate care for the most vulnerable populations.
Well, Erin, thank you so much for welcoming me on this semester.
It's so great to have you here on desk with me.
My first time here on desk. I've been behind the camera for the last 3 years, producing, usually directing the show, writing the scripts, doing the graphics, all kinds of stuff. And with the loss of Justin due to graduation, I'm here on desk with you for a little bit. It's already fun being on with you.
It's so nice to see you in front of the camera instead of behind it.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad to be here.
Good.
Yeah. So with students being back on campus, LaSalle Explorientation had to find a way to operate under new restrictions, which I found really interesting. I had an interview today with, as we were saying, Jennifer. She is in charge of the Explorientation program this semester, and It seemed like things are just a lot different right now.
Yeah, I was actually a senior exploration leader this summer, and I got to work with Jennifer all throughout the summer planning exploration. And with the hybrid format, we had to do some virtual and some in-person events. I think it went really well for the circumstances that we had.
How's the process of being an exploration leader?
It was very rewarding, actually. It was nice to put in all the work and then see the freshmen benefiting from it and getting to meet each other and getting involved. So it was a great experience.
That's awesome. Well, as I was saying, with students being back on campus, LaSalle Exploration had to find a new way to operate under restrictions. I had the opportunity to interview Jennifer Ruggio Patel to talk about this year's changes. Check it out. Hello, everybody. I'm Sam Long, back for another semester of interviews. Today, I'm sitting down with Jennifer Ruggio Patel to talk about the Exploration program at LaSalle. So this is something that goes on every year to welcome the new freshmen on campus. I know last year was definitely a little weird, seeing as we weren't here for some of the semester. So I want to hear all about what the Exploration program was like this year.
Yeah, so this year we were, first of all, Exploration in general is a program to help welcome our incoming students and help them feel acclimated to the LaSalle community, and also allow them to know about our campus resources, because we all don't learn about LaSalle overnight. So there's a lot of that process that takes place prior to coming onto campus to make you feel like you could have a successful first semester. This year, Exploration, pre-COVID, we did like a 5-day orientation model in person, where because of some COVID restrictions, we decided to do a synchronous virtual model where students would attend 1-day sessions over Zoom. They still had Exploration leaders. They still talked to different campus resources. And then to add that in-person component, we did welcome weeks once students got to campus.
All right, cool. So you touched upon how last year it was a 1-day synchronous Zoom activity. What was it more like this year compared to last year? Was everyone back on camp? I remember my Exploration, I think it was 3 days over a weekend when we first moved in. Exploration leaders just going around campus doing different welcoming activities and just learning the ropes.
Yeah, so Exploration, we did the synchronous Zoom days for Exploration 2021. Exploration 2020, right, when we were kind of at the height of COVID, and we didn't have access to vaccines, and we had to pivot very quickly. We did everything in an asynchronous format via Canvas, which most students and staff and faculty are familiar with. So students completed videos at their own pace through modules. We had all of our campus partners pre-record the videos. So they mainly did Exploration that way. And then we took student feedback from Exploration 2020, where students said that the information was really valuable, but they wish they were able to speak to staff and faculty in a face-to-face format. So that's why in 2021, we still kept the Canvas page up with material, but that's why we ended up going to more of like a Zoom face-to-face format like we're doing here. So students were able to ask questions and get some information in real time. And I think that was really helpful to our students.
Yeah, so I know for myself, my co-producer and Aaron and I went through the business building one day last semester and shot a video to be aired for Exploration this year. Was it kind of like that for departments all across campus? Was it like virtual tours of buildings and meeting your professors and deans and stuff like that?
Yeah, so the academic component for our Exploration program kind of went where students got that virtual tour of like their buildings and their schools. And then when they came to campus after move-in day and kind of the start of classes, students were able to, we did offer campus tours for students. So that was a way for them to tour their academic buildings for those who took advantage of it, as well as the academic schools put on some in-person optional programs for their students. So the business school, in addition to that video, did the Great School of Business race, which was like a scavenger hunt for our new business students. the nursing school did a virtual meet and greet where they were face to face with their students in a virtual format. And our School of Arts and Sciences today is actually doing a pretzel giveaway outside Holroyd with their dean. So definitely having that virtual component supplemented by some optional in-person work.
Yeah, awesome. So what's your role in all this? Do you oversee all the orientation work?
Yeah, so my role is, I would say about 70-80% of my job is exclusively planning our exploring programs. So this happens, the big one is our summer exploration program, which we just went through, because that's when we have majority of our students starting. But I also do a transfer and new student orientation every January for the subset of students that start in the spring semester. So in addition to really planning that program, another big piece of my job is staff recruitment. So I oversee all of the senior exploration leaders and the exploration leaders, and I do their recruitment, hiring, and supervision. So it's always great to get to interact with our student leaders in that capacity. And I think students really enjoy their time doing the position. And then probably the other two biggest pieces of my position is programming for our first year students. So we do welcome weeks, which we just had they're kind of extending through the end of the month because we did have that virtual week. So we were rescheduling some of our in-person programs, but I do plan our welcome back weeks and welcome weeks and signature freshman events throughout their first year as a LaSalle student.
Okay, cool. So looking ahead for the future of the program, is there anything in the pipeline right now for next year? Is it going to be switching back to a more in-person thing, or is that really not worked on yet?
So believe it or not, we're already starting the planning for next year for a program this big. Kind of as soon as you close, you kind of take a couple weeks to debrief and then you start the planning again. So right now we're in that debrief process, looking ahead for next year. So not too much yet on exactly what will be happening for next year, but I'm really excited to start that planning, and I'm really excited to think about the recruitment process for the upcoming year for our senior exploration leaders and exploration leaders. So definitely students, be on the lookout for that to come out and some marketing. We typically do our recruitment process either in late fall or early spring, depending on what position that you're applying for. But I think it's going to be great, just reflecting on the two modalities that we've done the past 2 years, as well as reflecting on the in-person program that we're accustomed to doing up until the pandemic hit, and really figuring out how to craft this program for 2022.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. I appreciate it. And I'm going to send it back over to the desk.
All right, thank you so much.
Time for our first break, but coming up, Philly Restaurant Week is back. Stay tuned.
Oh my God, I swear, these sports show hosts just get dumber and dumber as time goes on. Like, I can't believe people are actually paid money, real money, more than what I make at my job to say this stupid stuff. Like, I can't believe this crap. Oh my gosh. I'm about to lose it. I'm about to lose it. Like, this is just, how can they even, like...
Hey, what you doing?
This stupid sports show. These people have no idea how the game of basketball is played. Not at all.
Hey, you're not you when you don't watch LaSalle TV. Here, let me show you.
Have much more left, but the only reason why for everyone else it's a 1-year rental. Talk Philadelphia here on the South. I'm your host. All that much more.
Feel better now?
Better. You're not you when you're not watching LaSalle TV. To stay up to date, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Foodies in Philadelphia will be excited to hear that Restaurant Week 2021 is returning September 18th through the 30th. Delicious three-course lunches and dinners will be available at over 60 restaurants around the city for dine-in and takeout. These Restaurant Week discounts can be found at Italian restaurants, Mexican restaurants, BYOBs, sushi restaurants, and more. During Restaurant Week, three-course dinners cost just $40 per person, and lunches are only $25 per person. Going out in Philly is still a little different these days, as Restaurant Week diners must wear a mask and provide proof of vaccination before entering public places.
Beginning this fall, Pennsylvania booster shots for the COVID-19 vaccine will begin being distributed. Those eligible will be able to get the booster shot 8 months after their second dose of the vaccine. Recent studies have shown after 4 months, the Pfizer vaccine has dropped significantly in effectiveness against the virus. The percent decreases from 91 to 77%. The Moderna vaccine was shown to only decrease 1%. The CDC is recommending authorizing booster shots for those who have received the Pfizer vaccine, who are either 65 years or older, or people who are at risk, including healthcare workers.
The Philadelphia Eagles are back, and things are looking different at the Link this year. With restrictions in place, the Eagles are requiring masks in all indoor spaces. Seats and suites with windows that are open are okay to be maskless in. The stadium has installed new hand sanitizing stations all around the stadium to ensure the spread of germs is lessened. Tickets are now all online, and so is payment, no cash allowed.
Well, Aaron, what do we want to start with? Restaurant Week is back. I don't know about you, but I have been an avid Restaurant Week enthusiast through my time at LaSalle.
I have never attended Restaurant Week in Philly yet, but I am definitely planning on it this year. I want to try out some of the restaurants. The discounts seem really good.
Oh, fantastic. And being just 5 subway stops away from most of the places that are on Restaurant Week, seeing as everything takes place in Center City, it just makes getting there so much easier. You find a group of friends from LaSalle, you throw out $40 for the night, and you have just a delicious 3-course meal.
Exactly. I was looking at some of the menus for the restaurants that are participating, and they all seem so good. Me and my roommates can't decide where to go.
Oh yeah, there's so many options. One of the last things I remember before LaSalle went all virtual 2 semesters ago was going out for Philly Restaurant Week with our former host, Callie, who was on desk the year before you started coming to LaSalle. That's a great memory I have of some LaSalle TV catching up. Restaurant Week is just an excuse to bring people together.
Yeah, we should get the crew and head on down.
Exactly. Maybe LaSalle TV will pay for it. And the Eagles are back too. I don't know about you, but I am a huge Eagles fan. I've never been to a game at the Link before, other than preseason, so I can't speak to the craziness. But it definitely seems like masking up indoors in the bathrooms and food lines, it's definitely a good idea. Once you get out to the open air in your seats, you can take them out. It seems like a good process in order to ensure the safety of everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm a huge Eagles fan myself, but I'm actually going to the Eagles versus Panthers game in 2 weeks down in North Carolina, so I'm wondering if the mask requirements and everything are the same down there, but I guess I'll have to see.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I wonder how different things are at Panther Stadium than here.
I'll get back to you on that in a few weeks.
All right. Well, coming up after this last break, it's pumpkin spice latte season again. Stay tuned.
I love my Pia.
Exposure to blue light can mess with your sleep and memory cycle, so make sure you limit your screen time at least 2 hours before you go to bed.
Tomorrow may be the official first day of fall, but have you noticed that the seasonal flavor of pumpkin spice has been back out for over a month? This year, Dunkin' brought back pumpkin spice earlier than ever before. Dunkin' announced on August 11th that their pumpkin products such as the pumpkin spice latte, pumpkin donuts and munchkins, and the pumpkin cream cold brew were being sold starting August 18th. According to a survey done by Nissen Foods, more than almost half of Generation Z are obsessed with pumpkin spice. I bet Gen Z is ecstatic about Dunkin's early pumpkin spice release in 2021.
Hurricane Ida left more than 1 million without power. 3 weeks after the destruction of the Category 4 hurricane in Louisiana, parts are still without power. New Orleans is almost entirely restored and having returned to work and school, but the surrounding areas are still suffering through the effects after the storm. Approximately 38,000 remain without power or displaced from damaged homes. Medical facilities are struggling as well. The generators that are needed to run these clinics are all powered by gasoline, and the cost is starting to add up. Louisiana's main priority is restoring the power to residents and will start the rebuilding process soon.
Famed comedian Norm Macdonald passed away on September 14th after a long private battle with cancer. He was 61 years old. Norm was most famous for his many appearances on SNL and his stand-up career. Most famous for his job of host on Weekend Update for SNL, Macdonald reduced to back down his stance on the O.J. Simpson trial, resulting in his departure from the show. Many took to social media, calling him the funniest man they have ever met or worked with. He will be missed.
Well, it's been a crazy month. I know you are a pumpkin spice fanatic. I can honestly say I've never had it once. Me and Aaron stopped for coffee before we came to the show today.
That we did.
And Aaron ordered a pumpkin spice latte with oat milk, and I can say, honestly, it smelled delicious. I am a huge fan of pumpkin, which shocks me that I've never tried pumpkin coffee before.
Well, as the study showed, Gen Z is obsessed with pumpkin spice, and we're a part of Gen Z, so it's only fitting that pumpkin spice is my go-to Dunkin' coffee flavor in the fall months, and I was very happy about Dunkin' bringing it back earlier than ever before this year.
Well, seeing as there's two of us, it makes sense that one of us has to be obsessed with it according to statistics.
Exactly.
So, if pumpkin spice was available year-round, would you see yourself ordering it in the summer still?
Yes,
Really?
100%. Definitely in like the iced latte or iced coffee form, but 100% I would still order it in the summer months.
I don't know, that's crazy to me. When I think pumpkin, I think, Thanksgiving time, leaves are changing color, temperature gets a little cooler, pumpkins start to come out for Halloween. That's what I think about when I hear pumpkin spice, not blistering hot August sun. Let's go get some pumpkin coffee.
Yeah, well, I love the flavor, so I would like it any time of year, but tomorrow is the official first day of fall, which is hard to believe. This summer just went by so fast.
Yeah, it's crazy. And Norm Macdonald passing away, super sad. I went back and listened to some of his stand-up, and 61, that's just heartbreaking.
I know, that's such a young age. It's terrible. Well, that just about does it for this episode, but be sure to find us on the web as well as the rest of LaSalle TV on our Facebook page. We love to hear your thoughts, so tweet at us using our Twitter handle and start the conversation.
If you missed the scoop and want to find it, you can find our episodes on YouTube on our LaSalle TV Philly page.
Until next time, for Sam and the entire crew, I'm Erin Holly. Thanks for watching LTV News, where the action never stops.